So hello everyone, let's start laws of motion, right? So till now you have studied that about kinematics. So now guys, previously you have studied about kinematics. Here we are going to start laws of motion, right? So first is why we are studying laws of motion. The point is very simple, because in JEE mains and advanced, we can expect at least one question related with laws of motion, right? And other than this, since this is the fundamental topic of mechanics, so throughout this mechanics, we are going to use the concept of laws of motion, different laws and their properties, right? So before starting, let me introduce myself. My name is Supreet Kumar Singh. And as far as my qualification is concerned, BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering and MTech in Digital Communication. And I have total of 6+ years teaching experience, right? So let's start today's part. Yes. So guys, this is a question of JEE Main 2018. So in this question, it is given that two masses M1 is equal to 5 kg. So this is given as 5 kg, right? And M2 10 kg. So this M2 is given as 10 kg. Connected by an inextensible string over a frictionless pulley are moving as shown in the figure. So it is given that it is moving, right? The coefficient of friction of horizontal surface is 0.15, means this is horizontal surface now. So its coefficient of friction is given as 0.15, right? Means what about vertical surface? So this vertical surface, this surface is basically frictionless, right? And this thing is moving, right? So question is the minimum weight M that should be put on the top of M2 to stop the motion, right? So guys, to solve such type of question, and basically if we are dealing with questions of Newton's law of motion, so we have to consider two things. First is, let me show you this one. Let's suppose this is surface and a block is placed on this surface. Block is having mass M, which is placed on this surface. Second, I'm taking same case, but a little difference. Here, F force is applied and this block is moving with some acceleration like A. And here, this block is in rest while applying force F. So in Newton's law of motion, we are going to deal such type of situation. So we can say that this block is in rest or will apply the condition of equilibrium. That is, if this block is rest and applied force is F, means there must be something, another force which is opposing this applied force. Let's suppose that force is here, F, right now. So F is what? Here F is friction. So we have to see in this situation, since this block is in rest, right? So applied force is equal to that frictional force, that is F is equal to F. And we all know friction is having different types: static friction, maximum value of static friction, that is limiting friction, and kinetic friction, right? So since this is rest, so this applied force will use this F as static friction, right? But here we'll use the concept, since this thing is moving now, so friction F. So while writing equation, we'll write F minus F is equal to ME, right? So guys, basically in Newton's law of motion, you can expect question based on this concept, mostly on this concept. And sometime you may get question based on this concept, right? So by understanding this, once again, just move on to that question part and let's see how to solve this question. Okay. So yeah, hello, Hardik, Raj, everyone, welcome. So in this part, see here, M2 and M. if you see this question properly, it is given that in this question, if you read this question properly, which condition is given? Rest or block is moving with some velocity, as I've shown you now, this one, this situation, okay, and this situation. So obviously this is balance situation. This is, hello Anurag, this is balance situation now, right? So if we see situation as balance or equilibrium condition, so that thing is very easy for us. We can easily solve such type of question. How? Just we have to equate, and then we'll obtain answer. How? So see there, if mg is acting downward, mg is what? Mass into g. So let's suppose the value of g is 10, so it is 50. Since this whole system is in equilibrium, so we can say that tension must be equal to 50. Only then this block will be in rest. Clear now? Right. Next is, if t is 50, so here also this t will be 50, because same string and massless string, so t is 50. So now situation is very simple, that we have two block. This is m2, right, and this is m. Two block and a force that is 50 Newton, because this is Newton now. This 50 Newton is being applied, right? So which thing is balancing? Obviously friction, because only one contact here. Why only one contact? Because we are considering this whole as a system, right? So if m and m2 is like a system, so we can say that this 50 Newton is balanced by this friction, right? So now we can say that 50 is equal to F. Why we are saying this statement? Because in this question, it is given that system is in equilibrium. Very simple. Now, so rest is we have to solve this thing and we have to obtain answer. So 50 is equal to, the value of friction is mu into n. Mu into n now. Okay. So see this, F is equal to this. So 50 mu, n is m plus m2 into g. As we have taken g as 10, it's up to you. You can write in terms of g or in terms of 10. It's up to you, because g gets cancelled out now. So here 50 is equal to mu m plus, the value of m2 is given, and that value is 10 kg. So we can say m plus 10 into 10, cancel out. So we can say that 5 is equal to, guys, the value of mu is also given, and that is 0.15 right now. So m plus 10. Rest is calculation. And if you solve this thing now, so you can easily solve actually. So I'm solving because this is very interesting. If you solve this question, you will not see any of this option in that answer. So let's see, let's solve this thing. Okay, then I will correlate how to obtain answer, right? So this is 5 upon 0.15 is equal to m plus 10, right? Yes. So rest is calculation, very simple calculation. So 5 3 times. So we are getting this as 100 by 3. So we can get m is equal to 100 by 3 minus 10. So we are getting this as 70 by 3. Right now, Anurag, very good. So guys, 70 by 3. So if you divide now 2 times, so 3, 23 point, see this, something we are getting. But in this option, guys, see this, 23 is not given now. That is the interesting part. But see this, in this question, it is given that you have to obtain minimum weight. You have to obtain minimum weight, right? So obviously 10 kg cannot be answered, 10.3 cannot be answered, because minimum weight is, here we have obtained 23. Let me show you this one, 23. So 10.3 cannot be answered, 18.3 cannot be answered. So out of A and D, which one is more appropriate? So obviously option number D is more appropriate. That's why D is correct answer. Right? So guys, any doubt in this question, you can ask, feel free to ask. Thereafter, I will continue with next question, which is of JEE 2017. Right now, so correct option is option number D. Yeah, hello Arkaj, Anurag, everyone. So I'm moving right here. So in this question, guys, see this, it is given that a body of mass, okay, this mass is given, is moving in a medium and experience a frictional force F is this, means frictional force is given as minus k v square. Guys, this v is actually velocity. It is given that this is velocity, okay. Its initial speed, okay, initial speed given as 10 meter per second, right? So after 10 seconds, its energy is given, right? Energy part is just to confuse you, because uh, we see questions like initial velocity given, final velocity given, only then we solve questions now. So energy is given and we not know if object is moving. So since same track, so it is having kinetic energy. So by using half mv square formula, we can equate and we can get final velocity, right? So let's see how to obtain final velocity. But here time is also given, time is equal to 10 seconds, right? So final energy given, so I'm writing this final energy, this is equal to half m v square. This is direct formula, but in this question its value is given, and that value is 1 by 8 m v naught square, right? Rest is calculation. We have to solve and we have to obtain v final. So I'm just naming this as, let's suppose this is v final. V naught is what? We are assuming this as initial velocity, and Vf is for final velocity. So now, see this, we can cancel out this m 2 3 times. So we are getting this as Vf square is equal to, see, V naught square by 3. Okay. Okay. So Vf square is V naught square by 3. So from this, we can easily obtain what? You can obtain V final. So V final is, see this, I'm writing here. This is V naught by root 3, right? So guys, I hope you guys are getting how we are getting this whole equation. So half mv square here half, sorry, this is 4 now. Sorry, this is 4. So this is 4. So this is v naught by 4. So we can say this is v naught by, this is v naught by 2 actually. So let me just do this thing. Okay, so guys, this is v naught by 2. So now v naught is how much? So it is 10 by 2. So cancelling out. So this is equal to 5 meter per second. Guys, see here. Now this is very interesting. How? Because we have v initial, we have v final, and we have time, right? So I'm writing v initial is equal to 10 meter per second. Okay. V final is given as, this is 5 meter per second. V naught is initial velocity, right? Now it is given that the object is moving with some velocity, so we'll consider that as initial velocity, and after some time, whatever is the velocity, we'll consider that as final velocity. So initial velocity 10 meter per second, right? Final is 5 meter per second. Now the point is time given, time is 10 seconds. So guys, if you see this thing now, velocity is being decreasing. See this, velocity is decreasing. Initial velocity is 10 meter per second, and after some time, its velocity is 5 meter per second. So we have studied one formula. Let me write that formula. That is acceleration is change in velocity upon time. So that is v final minus v initial by time. So how much we are getting? 5 minus 10 by 10, right? This is minus 5 by 10. Why we are getting minus sign? Because velocity is decreasing, and we can say that retarded motion. So this is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2. That is minus 0.5. But for this question, will not apply this formula. Why we are not applying this formula? Because its velocity is changing. That rate is not constant. Why? Let me show you. Which thing is creating acceleration, guys? Which thing creating acceleration? So we all know the value of acceleration is force upon mass. So we have to see F. If F is constant, right? In that case, acceleration will be constant. If F is constant, so acceleration is constant. And if acceleration is constant, in that case, we can apply this formula. But in this question, let me write that friction value. That friction is creating force now. this friction is creating acceleration. So F is equal to minus kv square, means that friction force, let me show you this F. This F is changing with respect to this velocity. So we have to use integration. So guys, always remember, whenever acceleration is variable, so we have to use this formula I'm writing here, A equal to dv by dt, right? So we'll use this formula. And if acceleration is constant, so we can directly use equation of kinematics. We have studied 3 equation of kinematics, so we can directly apply that formula. Kv is something, k is something constant, Piyush, and v is velocity. So in this question, we have to obtain the value of k right now. So let me show you in this question. See this. This is the given expression, F is equal to minus kv square, right? So we have to obtain k. This situation is given. So we have to solve accordingly. Is it clear? Right. So let's see how to proceed. A is dv by dt. So okay, how to obtain A, guys? We have a formula. Acceleration is F by m now, right? And F is given as minus kv square. So we'll write this as friction upon mass, that is minus. So I'm writing first formula part. Friction force upon mass, this is equal to dv by dt. Next is we'll put the value of A. Pankaj, don't worry. Now after this, we'll start from starting, so you will able to understand all question and you can watch recorded lecture, no issue. So F upon m. So putting the value of F is minus k v square by m is equal to, Pankaj, don't worry. Next question, you will understand. Leave this question, right? So minus kv square by m is equal to dv by dt. Guys, if you are preparing for engineering exam, so now for you, it's very easy to solve such type of integration, because frequently you will get such type of situation. So what you will do, you will rearrange this expression and then integrate. Exactly. So I'm just writing that expression. So it is here, I'm continuing. Yes. Kundan, this is Newton's law of motion. Okay, first lecture on Newton's law of motion, and one more lecture will discuss Newton's law of motion. So basically there will be 2 sections of this Newton's law of motion. So see here, minus k v square is, I see this, I'm rearranging actually. So you can say this is dv upon v square. Dv upon v square is equal to, that is F equal to minus kv, that is given in question. We are not knowing that thing, already that thing given in question. So we are using that thing and we are obtaining the value of k. That is the part. So dv upon v square, just we are arranging this thing. Okay, now, so we can say dt, right, minus k by, I hope this thing is clear, everyone, because dv upon v square is equal to minus k upon dt, and then integrating. V, guys, initial velocity is given as 10 meter per second and final is 5 meter per second. No, so we'll take 10 to 5, and time is given as 10 second, means 0 to 10. Rest is integration. So you can say this is v minus 2 plus 1 upon minus 2 plus 1 is equal to minus k by m, and integration of dt we all know t, 0 to 10 right now. So on solving this, this is actually 1 by v and its limit is from 10 to 5, just a calculation thing. So say this, so this is minus, we can say 1 by v, because minus 1 by v, and its limit is from 10 to 5 is equal to minus k by m into 10. Okay, so minus gets cancelled out, and this is equal to 1 by 5 minus 1 by 10. This is 1 by 5 minus 1 by 10. This is equal to k by m into 10, right? So no, I'm teaching physics, but rest, guys, I'm leaving this thing as you can solve this thing now. So after solving, you will get the value of k, and that value of k is 10 to the power minus 4, this answer. So I hope you guys can solve this question, right? So those who are unable to understand, you can watch recorded lecture. Thereafter, definitely you will be able to solve such type of questions, right? So just moving towards next question. So any doubt in this question, you can ask. Thereafter, I will move on. Uh, that is not any formula. That is given situation, right? So in question, if given situation is given, so accordingly, whatever given actually, we have to solve now. So that is actually given situation. Clear? Okay, that's good. Guys, see this question. Actually, this is JEE 2015 question. Here, I'm just reading this question. Given in the figure are two blocks A and B. So A and B, two blocks of weight 20 Newton and 100 Newton respectively. Guys, it's unit directly given in Newton, right? So don't need to apply multiplication by G. So it is given that here A block downward force is 20 Newton and on B downward force is 100 Newton, right? These are being pressed against a wall by force F as shown. See this? Against a wall by force F as shown, right? If the coefficient of friction between the block is 0.1, guys, here it is given that it is having coefficient of friction mu is equal to 0.1 and between B and wall is 0.15 here. This is 0.15, right? The frictional force applied by the wall on the block is, so in this question, you have to obtain friction force applied by wall on the block. This friction is how much? So guys, to solve such type of question, actually we have two methods. So first, I'm explaining with longer method and thereafter tell you quickly how to obtain answer of such type of questions. Okay, so Najib will have NEET session discussion as well. Don't worry. So this is JEE session, and if you are preparing for NEET, even although you can just solve such type of question because these are fundamental concepts. If you are good in such type of concept, definitely you will score good in NEET as well. So guys, see here. So if I'm drawing free body diagram of A, right? So applied force is F is the applied force, right? What about normal reaction applied by B on A? So like this, let's suppose this is N1, right? Downward force is 20 Newton. This is the free body diagram of A. Now I'm making free body diagram of B. See this. So N1, what is N1? N1 is the contact force between A and B. So N1, and here, let's suppose this is N2. Let's suppose this is N2, anything, because although for this question, not necessary to obtain N1 and N2. Okay. So downward force is 100 Newton. And there will be one friction. Let's suppose this is F. Or I'm just naming this as F2. I'm naming this as F2 means we have to obtain the value of F2. So in this situation, it is given that block A and B both are in rest, right? So now see the situation here. Upward force, there must be one upward force whose value must be equal to 20 Newton. Only then that force can balance this A block now. Means on A block, there is a friction force which is acting in upward direction. So I'm showing here. Let's suppose this is F1 and its value must be equal to 20 Newton. Why? Because it is given that A block is in rest now. So if F1 is 20 Newton, only then it can balance 20 Newton. Very good. And we all know the property if this is F1. So here it will be F1 whose value is 20 Newton. Now quickly tell me, if 100 Newton and 20 Newton is acting downward, so what will be the value of F2 so that it can balance block B? So definitely the value of F must be 20 plus 100, that is 120. So right option is C. So guys, this is method number 1. Now see directly how to obtain answer for such type of questions. Logically you can obtain. So I'm making that diagram. This is block. This block is B. and one A block. This is A block, right? And applied force F. Downward, I'm showing 20 and 100. 20 Newton, and this is 100 Newton. In this situation, guys, what is given situation is whole system is in rest. Means we can, if we are considering this as a whole system, okay, so definitely you can say that there must be a friction which is acting here. Only that force can balance addition of these two. Logically, you can say, because there is no any force which is acting in upward direction, right? So directly you can say F, the value of F must be equal to 20 plus 100. Why? To balance this A and B, right? So this is 120. Clear? So correct option is 120 Newton. So guys, that's all for today. In the next lecture, which is on Thursday, so I will just take question from 14, 13, 12, 11 and 10 correspondingly. I hope you guys are able to understand. Okay then, bye bye.